Well, it's Electric Gourmet time again, and here we are, another show, another guest, and we've got a treat in store for you today. I'm Norma Schroeder, and I'm the host for this show, and we have people in the audience today, and it's always nice to have an audience. We've got people from IU East and the good old employees from RP&L who always come in. So let's see, housekeeping I have to do prior to the show, and I want to tell you that if you ever want to look at these recipes and check them out, go on RP&L's website, rp-l.com, and if you want to talk to a real live person, call 973-7200. And that done, I just want to tell you that today we have somebody who is really very, very brave because she didn't have much notice that she was going to do the show. And so it's my privilege to introduce to you Kimberly Harvey. Come on in, Kimberly. And if I mistakenly call you Kim, please don't hit me up beside the head.
Okay.
Because I know that you prefer Kimberly. You've already told me that in kindergarten you didn't answer when your teacher called Kim. So, and I hear from your fellow employees that you're just a little bit determined to make sure that everything's right. Kimberly is, let's see, what did you tell me?
We're going to make a dessert first, a chocolate eclair dessert. And we'll go ahead and get started with that. It's very simple to make. Okay. And Norma's going to make the crust, which is a buttered 9x13 pan, and we're just going to lay graham crackers across the bottom. Okay. Now, and I'm going to mix up the filling.
Kim, let me tell the audience that we have fellow employees here in the audience, and you do work here, don't you?
Right, I do work here.
You're the control audit clerk. Mm-hmm. She has been for 4.5 years. So that said, let's just go to work.
I'm going to start out with a cup and a half. I use half and half. You can use milk if you like, but I like the half and half. And 2 packages of instant French vanilla pudding.
That sounds good already.
And you can use a mixer on this, but it's just as easy with a whisk. So you're just going to whisk that together till it gets thick.
Well, now see, you told me to put them all down here, and now I'm going to run out of room, so how about putting half and half? Cutting like that?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
That? All right.
And I think I'm going to need a little bit more milk. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited about today's show. Seriously, Kimberly was kind of brought in at the last minute, and she is generally in the audience, though. This is really kind of neat. Kim and I talked about the show that we did last month with Lynette Tuttle, and Lynette had the strawberry, what I call the strawberry yum yum, and but Kimberly and I talked about that afterwards, that we could kind of improvise with that and make it with a sugar-free Jell-O and sugar-free.
And I tried that, and it did work.
Yes, and I tried it with just the way Lynette did it and took it to a pitch-in, and I was so surprised. Everybody loved it, but I was so surprised it looked just like the picture. So I was really pleased that I had done that. Okay.
Okay, that's good, and it's getting thick, so we're going to put in a 12-ounce Cool Whip.
Okay. And does it matter? You can always use the light.
Yeah,
Cool
the
Whip.
fat-free.
Yeah, the fat-free, sure.
You could use sugar-free pudding if you wanted to. I know we've talked about that before.
Yes. Well, of course, every recipe is made to be custom made for the person's taste, and so whatever turns you on, I guess, and you want to put it in that. I thought about with that strawberries, using fresh strawberries, but I'd have to be awfully brave to
cut all those up.
Yes, I would. Yeah, And kind of stupid, maybe.
Right.
Uh-huh.
You just mix this up.
Oh, that looks good already.
And that's your filling.
Okay.
So we're going to pour that over our graham crackers.
Looks good. How often do you make this?
Usually I'd make it for here a lot for pitch-ins or whenever we have a family gathering because it's quick and easy.
That's why they're really looking hungry.
Yeah.
Because they've tasted this before, haven't
Right.
they? All right. Okay.
So we're just going to spread that around. Then we need another layer of graham crackers on the top.
See, now I get to at least feel like I'm needed.
I'm going to make you work.
Good. That's all right. I'm used to that.
You know, Mary said I was bossy, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yes, I did hear that. But that's all right. And I think I did call you Kim once before, so I got to watch that, don't I? I have to do Kimberly.
You didn't get smacked, so that's okay.
That's right. But you kicked me underneath.
Did I? Yeah. Shh, don't tell.
Okay.
And then on top of this, we're just going to put a can of milk chocolate frosting.
You said before that you generally like to cook and like to fix things that are easy to fix.
Easy,
And good.
but good, yes.
Okay, very good. Well, so far this is great. I can do this. Just something that you could even come in. Does it have now? Are we going to have to chill
We're
it?
going to chill it. That's why we're going to make this first.
Oh, okay.
But usually after a couple hours, it's ready.
So it's not something that I can just whip up when I come in from work. But if I want to come home for lunch and fix it up, then I can put it in the refrigerator, right?
You could, but it would be a little soft.
Okay. Better to.
This will firm up to where you can cut it into squares.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Well, that's.
I don't know if you've ever tried to make real chocolate eclairs. They're not very easy, but this tastes pretty close to.
Does it really?
Eclairs
oh boy,
from the
I'm
bakery.
excited about that. Is that right? Do I get some? I get some nods out there in the audience. Well, this is something that I can try, and then I can. You know, speaking of trying things, I guess in doing the shows, I've really, of course, I've been cooking for long time, and I learned from Dave Hoff that when you fix chili, you put your chili powder in the hamburger. I did not ever know that, and so that makes a lot better chili. And then Pat Jarvis was here a 3 months ago, and I've always had a terrible time whipping egg whites because they've always been cold. So she tells me you got to whip them at room temperature.
Right.
So I always take away something, and I was excited to be able to fix the dish last month. So I'll have to talk about this and maybe try this out on some people too.
We'll see, we're already done.
Are we really? Oh, that's great. Well,
So we'll
maybe,
put this in the fridge.
Okay, good.
And then we'll get ready for our next
Okay, that's fine.
recipe.
So
you can do your
and while you're doing
housekeeping.
that, I'll just do my little housekeeping chores and tell people that you can call up on the website. And I called it up the other day because I wanted to fix that recipe that Lynn had. And you can go down the like for the month, if you can remember the month, and then just draw that recipe out that way, and you can get a really nice printout. So if you call up the website, rp-l.com, and then if you want to talk to somebody, call 973-7200. Well, Kimberly, that's a nice recipe, and now that it's all in the refrigerator and it'll be ready so that we can eat it and everything, talked a little bit about kind of changing it. Tell me some of the things that you can do with that.
Instead of the plain graham crackers, the deluxe graham cookies I think would be good.
Ooh,
Then this
yes.
morning I kind of had a thought about pistachio pudding and cream cheese frosting.
Gee
I think
whiz.
that might be, it's not really an eclair, but I think that would be good.
Yeah.
But whatever you like, if you like strawberry pudding, use strawberry pudding.
Yeah.
Banana.
And you talked about maybe cinnamon
Cinnamon grahams are
Cinnamon
good in it. I
grahams?
have used that before. That's really good.
with that same, but everything else
Right, everything
the same.
the same.
Well, that's good. And of course, you know, it's up to our viewers when they try it to do their own thing. And so maybe that'd be nice, you know, if they do something different about that, that maybe they could just call us and let us know about that.
Right, and recipes are just kind of like a guide. You need to add what you like, because I change things all the time. If I don't like something, I don't put it in.
Well, I guess somebody told me there is no such thing as an original recipe.
Probably not.
Okay, now I want to tell you, you've talked to me a little bit about what you have here and what we're going to do with this chicken, and it dawns on me that we did not use electricity to do anything with that first dish, but I do believe that maybe we used electricity just a little bit for the chicken. Is that right?
I cooked the chicken already this morning in a little butter with some taco seasoning on it, a couple teaspoons. Just browned it and then chopped it with the food chopper, and that way it mixes well in the recipe. It's about a pound of chicken.
Good.
I use the breast tenders.
Well, I kind of did that just to make sure you have a job tomorrow, because
for electric. Well, we're using the refrigerator.
Well, that's right. That's right.
Please, I need a job.
Okay. Well, and those look interesting, as I said before. No wonder we can do these things so quickly, because you had to do all that chopping and measuring and everything before. Well, I won't say measuring, because you say you really
don't measure.
Don't measure.
Not
really
a whole lot.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't have to do that.
But we're going to do the chicken tortilla pinwheels, and you start with 2 8-ounce cream cheese, and you soften that up. Occasionally I put mine in the microwave, but be careful not to cook it, because it will burn.
Doesn't need to be
Got
cooked.
a pound of chicken.
Don't have to use that much electricity, huh?
No.
Okay. And you say what'd you put in this chicken?
Browned it with a little butter and some of the taco seasoning.
Okay. Now, is this chicken
Tenders.
chicken tenders? Okay.
And then we're going to add a little bit more of the taco seasoning.
Girl after my own heart. I think the seasoning really makes it.
And we've got green chilies. If you like things hot, you could add spicier chilies. I don't really like it that hot.
Have you tried this out on the group?
Oh, yeah. Not with chicken in it, though.
What?
Just plain. I omit the chicken.
Oh, really?
It's cheaper that way.
Plus, if you're vegetarian.
Right.
And a lot of
We're going to
people
use
are.
about a cup of sour cream. And then an 8-ounce shredded the nacho and taco cheese.
Stop here a little bit. You know, I didn't find out from you at all about who you cook for, and of course I know you primarily cook for your liking and the dishes that you like. So tell me a little bit about your background and how long you've been cooking, and were you at your mother's apron strings and all that?
Well, actually, I take most of my cooking from my grandmother.
Oh, really?
My mother she cooked, but she didn't cook a lot. My dad worked second shift, so you know, we didn't have big meals in the evening.
And Grandma didn't measure either, huh?
No, and I tried to ask her how to make a chocolate pie, and she says, well, I'll show you. I said, well, how much do you put in? Well, you put this much in, and I thought, I better learn how to do that.
Well, I think it makes it
So
better.
actually, I learned a lot from her, and I cook for a 7-year-old who thinks ravioli is the best thing you ever had. So he's not hard to please.
Oh, no. You mean the ravioli out of a can?
Right.
Oh, dear. Well, does he like new dishes? Is he a good guinea pig?
No.
No.
He's very picky. Very
Okay,
picky.
well, most 7-year-olds
Chicken or
are.
fish.
Chicken or fish, okay.
And if it's not green beans, he doesn't eat it.
Oh, dear. Well, if it is green beans, my husband doesn't eat it.
Oh,
He eats
really?
everything but green beans.
Then we're going to put about 4 chopped green onions in. If you like more, add more. If you like olives, put in olives. I don't like olives.
So they don't get in there.
They don't go in
All
there.
right. So, see, yeah.
And then we're just going to stir this all together until it makes like a paste.
Oh, boy, that looks good already. It smells good.
And it really helps if you have that cream cheese soft.
Yes,
That way
I
you
see
don't
that.
have lumps, and it just goes
Yeah.
together smoothly.
Actually, if you just set it out room temperature,
It would take a couple hours. I actually did put this on defrost for about a couple of minutes at 2 different intervals, and it got to the right consistency.
Okay. You just have to watch it and be careful.
And it doesn't look too good before you put it in the, but it tastes good.
Oh, I think anything mixed up like that just, really looks good.
And then another thing we're going to put in to make it a little smoother is some salsa.
Salsa? You have a favorite?
I like
No.
Chi-Chi's Garden. It has
Okay.
corn and black beans in it.
Oh, okay.
But I've used generic.
Yeah, yeah.
When I make things, sometimes I cook for weddings, I'll use generic
Yeah.
things.
You ever make your own salsa?
I haven't, but we have some people here that work here that make very good salsa.
Oh, really? Oh, do they share?
Yeah.
Oh, good, good. Well, this is a wonderful time of the year, because you can get things out of the garden. We used to have a person who worked at the Palladium when I worked there, and Myron Corsi, who always made wonderful gazpacho, and that was the end of the garden, and it was just absolutely great.
Now, to put this together, you're going to you just use the plain flour tortillas
Okay.
and put some on there. And here's one of those spatulas we learned about.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
And spread it out to the edge.
So, I guess you just have to make them to really learn just how
you don't wanna
much to
put-
put on there.
You don't want to put thick filling because once you roll them, it's all going to smush out.
Okay.
If
yeah,
it's
I
thick.
understand.
So
That's
I'd
a good
say
word.
about,
That's a good word. Smush.
Smush.
Yeah. We kind of.
you get the picture?
I sure do. I know
It's
what
probably
smush
about
is.
1/8 of an inch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm going to put a little bit of tomatoes on these.
It was fresh.
Yes.
All right. I mean, garden.
Not my garden, Meyer garden.
Somebody's garden.
And we're going to put a little bit of shredded lettuce to give it a little crunch.
Okay.
And then we're going to just roll.
You know, that really is a very popular thing now. It's
Yeah,
most
they are.
Restaurants.
Any restaurant you go to, you can get roll-ups. But we're going to slice ours into pinwheels.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to make one more before we start slicing.
Okay. Well, I think anything. Of course, most generally, if you're gonna make something, you just make it like you always do. And if there's not, and you don't think of things like you say, spread it thin, so people just have to learn. But if you can think of those things, then those tips are good. Then they know it's not going to
Well,
smoosh
the first
out.
time I made them, they were overflowing and they were messy.
Well, that kind of.
They didn't slice pretty.
Okay. And this is generally, you can fix this type of thing for pitch-ins or.
Right, actually, I like to make the rolls the night before and put them in the refrigerator with saran wrap. And then the next day, after they're chilled hard, they're easier to slice. But they're
I'm
not
sure
too
of that.
bad to slice now. But we need a knife.
Okay, got to have a sharp knife.
Yeah, a
All right.
serrated knife is best.
Oh, yes.
We cut off the ends.
My husband doesn't, he has this fetish for really sharp knives. And so when I use a serrated knife, he just can't understand that because he keeps all of our knives really sharp. And I can tell you that we keep them sharp because I think when we were first married, I tried to slice something and slice the end of my finger.
Oh, no.
And he felt really bad, but he still sharpens the knives.
My dad always has sharp knives too.
Yeah.
So we're going to put them on a platter. These are kind of squishy because
You are
they're
right, though. I think if you'd leave them overnight, you'd not have them so squishy. Okay.
Then you serve them with salsa for dipping.
Oh,
Little
really?
sour cream on the side.
Oh, good.
Whatever you like.
And you can always dress up that plate and fix
Right,
it just
Do a BAM.
I beg your pardon?
Do a BAM if you're Emerald.
Oh, well, a BAM. Gee whiz, I should have known. I should have known that.
He's my son's hero.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Does your son know you're a good cook?
Sometimes he'll say, Mom, really good cooking.
Oh, my.
So,
that's pretty good for a 7-year-old.
Yeah,
Gee
but
whiz.
like I said, ravioli's probably his favorite. Chicken nuggets.
Is this one of your recipes that you've concocted, or
Yes.
you
Well,
think of where
there
you
was
got
a basic recipe that uses a lot of olives. I don't care for olives, so I changed it. And I added chicken for a party one time, and everybody liked it. So I thought, this is pretty good.
Well, this recipe is really flexible.
Right. If you could put beef in there if you liked it, the steak strips, or leave the meat out. Anything is fine. Then we'll put a little salsa on the side.
Boy, their mouths are watering out there. They can hardly wait to get into that. I know that.
A little sour cream. And then garnish with some of your green onions.
Well, that's going to be real. See, now isn't that pretty?
And you can even put a little spice on there. And that's it.
Oh, that's just great. That is absolutely beautiful. Okay, now that we've got a finished product and we've got a little bit of time to talk, let's talk about some of the other things that you like to do and some that you've tried out on your employees.
They like my breakfast casserole really well.
Breakfast casserole. And what is...
The eggs and sausage and green peppers and onions and mushrooms and cheese, and you put bread in that and you let it set overnight and bake it. In fact, that's what they're going to have next Friday because it's my treat day.
Oh, what do you mean
we
a
have
treat day?
Every Friday is treat day.
Oh,
Someone
really?
has to bring a dish.
And you take turns, huh? Does Harry Phillips or Dave Osborne bring in dishes?
Dave's not in it because sometimes he's out of town, but
Yeah.
Harry does bring it, and his
Does he?
wife makes very good apple pie.
Oh my gosh! Well, maybe we can talk Harry into getting.
Maybe Jenny will have to come on.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I alluded to at the beginning of the show is that not that we didn't think about you to be on the show, but
Right.
we.
I'm just a sub.
At the very last minute yesterday, we had a cancellation, and gee whiz, I don't know. Well, I'm not going to tell you what I suggested to Harry, but that'll just be between you and him.
He knows he owes me.
Okay, and so if our viewers want to get these recipes, this recipe and the others that we've done, then they can go on the website rp-l.com. And if they want to talk to somebody at RP&L, they can call 973-7200.
They can call me if they want to.
They can.
257.
As long as they don't call you Kim. It's Kimberly. Okay. Well, I really thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, it has. Can I have a hug?
Thanks. Thank you.